What's going on, guys? Welcome into the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Tombs of the Fallen in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and not just any tomb, but Verica's tomb. Now, why would we talk about Verica's tomb? Well, because there's something uniquely awful about this tomb. And if you're one of those unfortunate players like me who hasn't been able to complete all the Tombs of the Fallen because you ran into a bug inside Verica's tomb, then you're in luck, because I'm going to be showing you how to bypass any bug, glitch, or certain movable object that gets stuck and completely ruins my entire day, maybe thinking about starting over just to finish the tombs. But if you know what I'm talking about, then you understand my frustration. Point is, there's a way around this. Few issues with it though. First, this method doesn't actually move the object, it simply bypasses the need to even complete the tomb's puzzles. So if you were looking forward to messing around with the pressure plates, sorry, you can always do the ones that don't get stuck. Second, this method will not result in the cutscene that typically happens at the end of each tomb, so if you really wanted to see that, I apologize. Third, and the one that's going to upset the most people I'm sure, you're going to have to purchase something from the Helix store. Sorry, but it's the only way I've gotten this to work. Okay, now if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you already know where Verica's tomb is, but if you've forgotten or simply repressed it from your memory, then here you go, it's right over here on the western side of Hamtunscire. You can fast travel to the Mastery Challenge location or this dock on the Afon River to get to the tomb. As with all tombs, as you approach, you'll see birds flying in a circle above the entrance. Once inside, we'll quickly run through the beginning portion, avoiding the spike traps and lava on the way. Then we'll come to a large opening where you'll get a cutscene if you're entering this main chamber for the first time. When you first zipline down to the middle of the chamber, you'll see a movable object that you can easily move onto the first square pressure plate. If you remember, there are multiple pathways that you need to follow in order to retrieve the orbs that you place on the circular pressure plates. But as you can see, I have all of those in place already to go along with the first square one. So that leaves this room right over here. You'll see you need to put one of the movable objects onto this square pressure plate in order to trigger the opening of the large tomb door, where you'll find where Verica was laid to rest, a chest that has Verica's sickle weapon, and another pathway that leads to Verica's tomb artifact. Remember, if your goal is to unlock the Eden ring station and acquire the blazing sword, you'll need to collect all 5 tomb artifacts before returning to Manius' sanctum, which if you remember is the tomb directly across from Ravensthorpe. When you go through this doorway, you'll see a crack in the wall that you need to go through, and if you were to do this all correctly and have no issues, you'll end up bringing the square object down from the upper level back to where you entered. Once through the crack, you get to this room where you can see the movable object that you need to put on the pressure plate, but there's boiling hot water between you and the object, so you need to find something to bridge the gap and allow you to access it. That sort of thing that you need is right over here behind some breakable wood. It almost looks like a bookshelf, just without the books. Once you grab it, you simply need to move the shelf until it's lined up with the object you need, then push it into the water, creating a bridge. But here lies the problem. If you go a little bit too far to the left of where you're supposed to push it, or if you're like me and you thought you needed to bring it over to the other side of the room for whatever reason, it gets stuck right here and it never moves. If you've ever searched Verica's tomb bug, Verica's tomb glitch, or Verica's tomb stuck on Google, you'll notice it's a fairly common issue among players. You'll also find that there's not a universal solution to the problem, and you can forget about any Ubisoft support or updates on this one because that's long gone. Now, as I said earlier, you can certainly try knocking it around in any way you see fit to try and get it to budge, but a majority of the time, this thing will not move. If you can go back to a recent save, I suggest you do that, but for those of us that didn't have a recent save or are far beyond this by now, it seems pretty hopeless. But I'm going to show you that all hope is not lost. Instead of worrying about moving the shelf, let's take a stroll back to the entrance of the tomb. When you first enter, you should have noticed a locked door to your right, where you would have come out if you completed the tomb as expected. Now, not all locked doors in tombs lead to the final chamber, but in Verica's tomb, it does. So this door is our primary focus. In order for this to work, you'll need at least 2 pieces of the Taranis armor set to be equipped, so you'll want to either purchase the Taranis armor set, the Taranis pack, or get lucky and grab some of the armor set from our friend Rita. I went ahead and just bought the armor set because I didn't feel it was necessary to buy the entire pack, or to wait an eternity for Rita to have it in his shop, but you can do whatever you'd like as long as it results in you acquiring at least 2 pieces of Taranis armor. Once you have the armor, equip whatever pieces you'd like. As you can see, I only put the bracers and pants on, and then you're going to unequip both melee weapons so that your hands are completely free. Don't unequip your bow as you're going to need it. The reason you don't want your handheld weapons is because the Taranis set gives you an ability that causes a sort of electrical surge that deals bonus damage when unarmed, and what you want to do is combine this ability with the explosive power of a powder trap that you put on the end of your arrows. Make sure you have at least 1 adrenaline slot filled so you can use your powder trap ability. Now add that explosive to your arrow and shoot the door. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then simply punch, or in my case, knee, the trap. It'll cause an explosion, and boom, the door is unlocked. You can now follow this path down to Verica's tomb. On the way, there will be a path off to the right that will lead to the tomb artifact. After collecting that, go back up, make a right, and continue journeying deeper down until you reach the final chamber. Here you'll find what we've been searching for all along. Verica's final resting place, the chest with Verica's sickle, and the satisfaction of having gotten onto the other side of this giant gate when the game clearly didn't want us to. So there you have it. I can finally rest easy knowing I never have to think about this nightmarish tomb again, and hopefully this does the same for you. Verica's tomb bug is finally solved. But okay, that's all I got for you guys, so I just want to say thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Skull!